So let's start with the venation now. Now venation is the arrangement of veins and veinlets over the lamina, and this arrangement, this venation, it is of two types, which you have also studied in the lower classes, that is reticulate venation, and the another one is parallel venation. So two type of the venation can be seen in the case of the angiosperms. तो देखिए रेटिकुलेट वेनेशन के अंदर क्या होगा, तो ये मैंने लीफ में लैमिना फॉर्म करा है. लैमिना के अंदर मैं ये दिखा रही हूं ओवर द लैमिना, दिस इज मेन वेन. So you know that the main vein, this is known as midrib. जो midrib है इससे arise हो रही है lateral veins. So you can see here from the midrib, the lateral veins, they are arising, and the thickness of the lateral veins, it is lesser as compared to the main vein. तो ये arise हुई lateral veins, right? And इस lateral vein से arise होंगी veinlets. Yes, इससे arise होंगी veinlets. So you can see here, these are the veinlets, and you can see the veinlets, they are forming a network. Yes, so you can see here, these are the veinlets, and these veinlets, they are forming a network, and the another name for the network is reticulation. जो नेटवर्क का दूसरा नाम है that is reticulation. That's why this category of venation, it is known as reticulate type. तो reticulate का क्या मतलब है? There is formation of network by the veinlets. Now reticulate venation, it is the characteristic feature of dicots. Dicots का ये characteristic feature है, but there are certain monocots which also show this type of condition. In some of the monocots also this condition is present. So I will be citing few examples here for the monocots having reticulate venation. One example is smilex, then alocasia, colocasia, and Dioscorea. Right? Now this reticulate venation, it is further divided into the two types. Further दो categories के अंदर हम reticulate venation को divide कर सकते हैं. That is unicostate, and another one is multicostate. जो यूनिकॉस्टेट कंडीशन है वहां पर प्रेजेंट होगी सिर्फ एक मेन वेन और वन midrib is present. Only one midrib is present in the unicostate condition. The same thing I have explained in this diagram. Now the example for the unicostate condition is people. Another one is China rose. Now the multicostate, as the name suggests, now there is presence of more than one main vein, more than one principal vein or main veins, they are present. Now the multicostate condition is further distinguished into the two types. Now in the first condition you see फर्स्ट कंडीशन के अंदर आप देखिए कि देखिए बहुत सारी मेन वेन ये बेस से अराइज हो रही हैं. फ्रॉम द बेस सेवरल मेन वेन्स दे आर अराइजिंग, राइट. और इस मेन वेन से अराइज होंगी लेटरल वेन्स. सो यस, दीज आर दी लेटरल वेन्स. और इन लेटरल वेन्स को कौन जोड़ेगा? नेटवर्क, रेटिकुलेशन. सो द वेनलेट्स दे आर गोइंग टू फॉर्म द रेटिकुलेशन. राइट. तो ये जो मैंने यहां पर कंडीशन एक्सप्लेन करी है, इस कंडीशन के अंदर जितनी भी मेन वेन्स अराइज हो रही है बेस से, दे आर मीटिंग एट द सेम पॉइंट. ऑल द मेन वेन्स दे आर कन्वर्जिंग. Yes, they are converging. That's why this type of venation, it is known as convergent multicosted type. सारी की सारी वेव्स एक ही पॉइंट पर कन्वर्ज हो रही है. सो दिस इज कन्वर्जेंट कंडीशन. कंवर्जेंट कंडीशन इज प्रेजेंट इन जिजिफस. नाउ सेकंड कंडीशन. So in the second condition, now the several main veins, they are arising from the base. बहुत सारी veins arise हो रही हैं base से, and you know from these veins, the lateral veins they will arise, right? और lateral veins को जोड़ने के लिए again help करेगा network. बट एक डिफरेंस जो यहां पर नजर आ रहा है कि जितनी भी वेन्स बेस से अराइज हो रही है, नाउ दे आर नॉट मीटिंग एट द सेम पॉइंट. नाउ दे आर डाइवर्जिंग. Yes, now they are diverging. So this type of condition, it is known as multicostate divergent type. This is present in castor, loofah and grapevine. So what is reticulate venation? This is very much clear to all of you. अगर एक मेन वेन प्रेजेंट होगी तो बोलेंगे unicostate. If more than one principal veins are there, then multicostate. If all the principal veins, they are converging, then this is convergent. And if they are diverging, this is known as divergent multicostate condition. So after the reticulate venation, let's see what is there in the parallel. So let's start with the parallel venation. Now, in the case of the parallel venation, now the network, the reticulation is absent. Now, why the network is absent? Because the veinlets, they are inconspicuous. The veinlets, either they are few or they are sparsely present, due to which the network is absent. Now, the parallel venation can further be divided into the two categories. दो कैटेगरीज हो सकती है. तो फर्स्ट कैटेगरी देखिए, तो फर्स्ट कैटेगरी के अंदर ये एक मेन वेन, यस दिस इज प्रिंसिपल वेन. प्रिंसिपल वेन से अराइज हो रही हैं लैटरल वेन्स. सो यू कैन सी दीज आर द lateral veins. These lateral veins, they run parallelly. Yes, तो आप देख रहे हैं they run parallelly and the reticulation, the network by the veinlets is absent. तो इस कंडीशन के अंदर अब कितनी मेन वेन्स प्रेजेंट है? Only one main vein is present, so this type of the condition, it is known as unicostate type. Yes, unicostate venation. Now example for the unicostate venation is banana. Banana is there, and another example is canna. Now second category. तो सेकंड कैटेगरी के अंदर अब आप देख रहे हैं कि बहुत सारी वेन्स जो बेस से अराइज हो रही हैं. नाउ द सेवरल वेन्स दे आर अराइजिंग फ्रॉम द वेन्स and they are meeting at the same point. They are converging. So this is multicostate condition. एक से ज्यादा प्रिंसिपल वेन है, multicostate condition, and this is convergent type. Convergent condition is present in bamboo and grasses. Now next one. अब सेकंड केस के अंदर बेस से बहुत सारी प्रिंसिपल वेन्स अराइज हो रही हैं. सो यू कैन सी हियर, बट नाउ दे आर डाइवर्जेंट. यस, तो बहुत सारी वेन्स अराइज हुई, तो मल्टीकॉस्टेट, बट नाउ दे आर diverging. So this type of the venation, it is known as multicostate divergent type. Multicostate divergent type. This condition is present in the FANPA. Now, as I have discussed that the reticulate venation is the characteristic feature of dichots, and the parallel venation, this is the feature of monocots. तो ये monocots का feature है, but some of the dichots they also show parallel venation. तो हम उन डाइकॉट्स का नाम लिखेंगे जो पैरेलल वेनेशन शो करते हैं. सो फॉर दिस वन एग्जाम्पल यू राइट हियर, दैट इज कैलोफाइलम. अनदर एग्जाम्पल कोरिम्बियम, एंड द नेक्स्ट वन ओरेंजियम. So this is all about the types of venation. Now I will be discussing the arrangement of leaves on the stem and its branches. And this arrangement, it is known as phyllotaxy. So let's start with the phyllotaxy. Now the term phyllotaxy arises from two Greek words, that is phylum and taxis. Now phylum means leaf and taxis means arrangement. So it means the phyllotaxy is mode of arrangement of leaves on the stem and its branches. So write this definition. It is mode of arrangement, pattern of arrangement of leaves on the stem and its branches. Now, what is the purpose of the phyllotaxy? फाइलोटैक्सी का पर्पस है कि लीव्स का अरेंजमेंट स्टेम पर ऐसा हो सो दैट द क्राउडिंग ऑफ द लीव्स इज एब्सेंट एंड ईच लीफ कैन ऑब्टेन ऑप्टिमम सनलाइट. So what is the purpose of the phyllotaxy? That the arrangement of the leaves on the stem should be such so that it should prevent the crowding of the leaves, and this will give optimum sunlight to each leaf present on the plant. Now here I will be discussing three types of the arrangement, that is alternate, opposite and whorled. तो यहां पर अब हम डिस्कस करेंगे 3 तरह की फाइलोटैक्सी. In the case of the alternate, at each node there is presence of only one leaf. हर एक नोड पर सिर्फ एक लीफ प्रेजेंट होगी. So this is stem. So this is stem, and at each node there is only presence of one leaf. Yes? Now if these leaves which are present at each node, they are present in the opposite condition. ये एकदम अपोजिटली प्रेजेंट है, तो ये जो स्टेम है, स्टेम पर लीव्स की कितनी रोज बनेंगी? 2 रोज. अगर इनका अरेंजमेंट अपोजिट है तो यहां पर बनेंगी 2 रोज. वन इज दिस, अनदर वन इज दिस. और अगर स्टेम के ऊपर लीव्स की 2 रोज बनेंगी, दिस टाइप ऑफ द कंडीशन इज नोन एज डाई-स्टाइकस कंडीशन. Now the alternate type of the phyllotaxy, this is seen in China rose. Now the second one, that is opposite. Now in the opposite type, at the node there is presence of 2 leaves. हर एक नोड पर 2 leaves present होंगी, and generally these 2 leaves which are present, they lie opposite to each other. तो यहां पर opposite के अंदर हम 2 conditions देखेंगे. The 2 conditions are there. Let's say this is stem. Over the stem there is presence of nodes, और हर एक नोड पर 2 leaves present है, like this. तो ये जो मैंने फर्स्ट कंडीशन यहां पर बनाई है कि दीज आर दी पेयर ऑफ लीव्स प्रेजेंट एट वन नोड, और इसके ऊपर जो पेयर ऑफ लीव्स प्रेजेंट है, दे आर प्रेजेंट इन द सेम प्लेन. So when the pair of leaves present on the nodes, they are present in the same plane. That is, एक पेयर ये है लीव्स का और इसी के ऊपर ही ये एक पेयर है लीव्स का. Then this type of the condition, this is known as superimposed type. Right? Now the second condition. Second condition में at one node these are pair of leaves, ये pair of leaves present है, और इसके ऊपर जो node है वहां पर भी pair of leaves present है. But now you can easily see the pair of the leaves, they are not present in the same plane. Now they are present perpendicularly to each other. Means एक pair of leaves ऐसे है और इसके ऊपर जो नोड है वहां पर जो पेयर ऑफ लीव्स है अब ऐसे प्रेजेंट है. दे आर नाउ एट राइट एंगल्स. व्हेन दिस टाइप ऑफ द कंडीशन इज प्रेजेंट, नाउ इट इज नोन एज डेकोसेट टाइप. राइट? नाउ सुपर इम्पोज के अंदर अगेन आप बताइए लीव्स की कितनी रोज बनेंगी? there is presence of the 2 rows. So now this condition, you will call it as distichous condition. But in the case of the decussate, अब यहाँ पर जो leaves है, they are present perpendicularly. So now in this case, instead of the 2, now there is presence of 4 rows. अगर 4 rows present है, this condition can be known as tetrastechous condition. Right? Now the opposite type of the phyllotaxy, this is present in Calotropis. तो एग्जाम्पल लिखेंगे आप इसके, guava, the scientific name is Psydium, then Eugenia, Xenia. Now coming to the last type of the arrangement, that is world phyllotaxy, also known as verticillate type. World phyllotaxy के अंदर at each node now there is presence of more than 2 leaves. हर एक नोड पर 2 से ज्यादा leaves present है. As the name suggests here, now these leaves they are present in the form of the whorls. तो 2 से ज्यादा leaves present है और वो whorls की form में है. So here one example for the world phyllotaxy is Nerium. नीरियम के अंदर हर एक नोड पर 3 leaves present है. And another example, important example, which is also cited in the NCERT, that is Allistonia. In the Allistonia, at each node, the number of the leaves which are present, they are more than 3. So these are the 3 types of the arrangement. Now, the alternate type of the arrangement is also known as spiral phyllotaxy. So after dealing with the phyllotaxy, now I will be discussing the modification of leaves. So now we can discuss modification of leaves. So first of all, let's discuss the modification of the leaf base. So what is the another name for the leaf base? That is hypopodium. Now the first type is sheathing leaf base. अब शीथिंग लीफ बेस के अंदर क्या कंडीशन है? जो लीफ बेस है इट विल एक्सपैंड एंड इट विल कवर द स्टेम. लीफ बेस एक्सपैंड करेगा और स्टेम को कवर करेगा. अगर लीफ बेस स्टेम को कवर करेगा पार्शियली, इफ इट विल पार्शियली cover the stem, then this type of the sheathing leaf base, this is known as semi-amplexical type. Now, example for this is Calotropis, and the another one is Poppy. अगर लीफ पे स्टेम को कवर करेगा कंप्लीटली, अगर कंप्लीटली कवर करेगा, now this type of the sheathing leaf base, it is known as amplexical type, and this condition is present in grasses. This is seen in grasses, Polygonum, and Sonchus. Now the another category, that is pulvinus. तो अब देखिए pulvinus क्या है. Again, it is the modification of the leaf base, but now the leaf base is swollen. Agar leaf base swollen hoga, so now it is known as pulvinous, and this condition is present in bean, cassia, and mimosa. Right? Now after the hypopodium, let's see what are the modification of the petiole. So what is the another name for the petiole? That is mesopodium. Now in some of the cases, the petiole it expands. जो petiole है वो expand करेगी. It is green. It is involved in the photosynthesis. This expanded petiole, it is known as winged petiole. The winged petiole, it is present in the case of citrus. Now in some of the cases, the petiole, it accumulates abundant parenchyma. Petiole के अंदर present है parenchyma. So you might be knowing that parenchyma, it is a type of parenchyma which has abundant air spaces. So due to the presence of the air spaces, the petiole, it will become lighter and it helps in the floating of the water plants. So such type of the petiole which possess abundant parenchyma, it is known as spongy petiole. And this spongy petiole, it is present in the most noxious water weed. So it is known to all of you, the most noxious water weed, that is Eichhornia. Right? Now the another modification of the petiole we will discuss here. So now the another modification of the petiole, that is phyllote. Now you tell me that plant के अंदर वो कौन सा part है जहां से water loss होता है through a process that is known as transpiration. So we know that the lamina is the part which is involved in the water loss. Now in the case of the xerophytic plants, what happens? To reduce the water loss, the lamina shows the reduction. तो xerophytic plants के अंदर वाटर लॉस कम करने के लिए जो लैमिना है, this lamina, it will show reduction. Now, as I have discussed previously in this lecture, that lamina is also involved in the photosynthesis. It is the main seat of photosynthesis. So when the lamina is reduced, so now the function of the photosynthesis, it is taken up by the petiole, and this green petiole, it is known as phyllote. So you got this? तो petiole आप photosynthesis करेगी. Petiole is green, involved in the photosynthetic activity. Now this type of the condition, it is present in the xerophytic plant, that is Australian acacia. Now what happens in the acacia? Acacia के अंदर lamina reduce हो गया. Lamina reduce हुआ and the petiole, it expands. Yes, petiole expand हो गई है. Expanded and it is sickle shape, and you can see the orientation of the petiole, that is vertical. So this green petiole which is expanded sickle shape, it is known as phyllote. अब phyllote की वजह से water loss कैसे कम होगा? Now The pores which are involved in the water loss, you know these pores, they are stomata, and the number of stomata in the lamina, they are more than the petiole, so surely this will reduce the water loss. तो फाइलोड की वजह से वाटर लॉस कैसे कम होगा? क्योंकि जो नंबर ऑफ स्टोमेटा petiole के ऊपर प्रेजेंट है, they are lesser as compared to the lamina. Now, you please keep this in mind that in the case of the acacia, there is presence of compound leaf. Compound leaf means lamina divide karega, there is formation of the leaflets. So, you have to keep this in mind that acacia ke andar petiole is green, and along with the petiole, the primary axis is also green. The primary axis is also green, and we know this primary axis, this is known as rachis. Now in this class, I have discussed phylode, and in the previous class, I have discussed one structure, that is the phylloclad. So you have to tell me that these two structures, they are homologous or they are analogous. Now the phylode, this is involved in the photosynthesis. Phylloclad, this is also involved in the photosynthesis. तो दोनों का जो function है वो same है. But the phylode, this is the modification of leaf. And the phylloclad, this is green stem. This is modification of stem. So you can see here, function of these structures, they are same. But the origin, they are different. So when the origin is different, these type of these structures, they are known as analogous. Function same होगा और origin अगर different होगा, तो ऐसे स्ट्रक्चर को हम कहेंगे एनालॉगस. सो दिस इज क्लियर. इन सम ऑफ द केसेस द होल लीफ इट शोज मॉडिफिकेशन. पूरी की पूरी लीफ जो है वो मॉडिफिकेशन शो करेगी. Now the whole leaf modification, it is present in the insectivorous plant. The name of the plant is Nepenthes, and you might be knowing its common name. This insect eater plant, this is known as pitcher plant. पिक्चर प्लांट के अंदर जो कंप्लीट लीफ है, हर एक पार्ट है जो लीफ का वो मॉडिफिकेशन शो कर रहा है. So let's start with the lowermost part, that is the leaf base. So this is leaf base, and you can see here the leaf base, it is expanded. Yes, तो ये जो पार्ट हमने यहां पर बनाया है, this is leaf base, or you can see here the leaf base is green, expanded, it is involved in the photosynthesis. Leaf base के बाद क्या present होगा? Petiole, and in this case the petiole, it is converted into the thin thread-like wiry structure. You know very well the structure is known as tendril. So this is the second part. Second part, that is petiole, and the petiole is modified into the tendril. Petiole के बाद present होगा lamina, right? So after the petiole, there is presence of lamina, and here the lamina is modified. It forms a pitcher-like structure. Yes. So this is third part, that is lamina, is showing the modification into the pitcher. It's very well known to you. The function of the pitcher is that it is involved in the trapping of insects. Over the pitcher, there is also presence of a lid to close the pitcher. So this lid of the pitcher, it is formed by leaf apex. So you can see here the leaf base, tendril, lamina and lid, they all are modified in the pitcher plant. Now, tendril. We have discussed while discussing the stem that tendril is a thin thread-like wiry structure which is involved in the climbing. तो एक एग्जाम्पल मैंने यहाँ पर डिस्कस करा है that the tendril is formed by the petiole. Now another example, the whole leaf can be converted into the tendril and this is seen in Lathyrus sativus. पूरी लीफ टेंड्रिल के अंदर कन्वर्ट होगी. Next one. Now the leaflets, they are converted into the tendril. This is in Pisum. And in some of the cases, only the leaf apex is converted into tendril. Leaf apex, this is in the Gloriosa. Petiole, it is converted into the tendril, modified into the tendril. One example for this is Nepenthes and the another example is Clematis. So we have discussed in the previous class. Yes, in the previous class we have discussed that tendril is formed in cucurbits, and here we are discussing that the tendril is also formed in Pisum, that is leguminous plant. अब cucurbits के अंदर जो tendril बना है, that is the modification of the stem, and here the tendril which is formed in the Pisum, this is the modification of the leaf. अब tendril का function तो same ही होगा, that is climbing, but the origin is different. So origin is different. So these two structure, you will call them as homologous or analogous. So these are analogous structures. So this is all about the leaf. So here we have discussed the types of the leaf on the basis of the lamina. Then I have discussed venation. These are the modifications. Now I will be starting with the inflorescence.